Gojo was cut in half by cleaving his mantle and is dead. That's it, Gojo is dead. This is a very sad day. I did a live reaction to this chapter today and my voice is actually even gone because it was just crazy, man. It's just so sad, and it started with a flashback. Yes, the legends were true. It started a Gojo flashback. Gojo was talking to Geto, Nanami, and Haibara in the afterlife. We saw Riko there, we saw Kuroi there, we saw Principal Yaga, and yeah, he lost. Gojo has admitted that Sukuna is the strongest there ever was. But now my boy Kashimo, my goat, he's coming in to fight Sukuna. Like I told you all, don't sleep on Kashimo. But yeah, Gojo Nation, we lost. This is an L. We gotta take this L, man. Sukuna fans, oh no, you guys are up. This is crazy. And hey, be sure to leave a like. It does help out. And of course, if you haven't already subscribed for a ton of GEGE content on the channel, because actually 90% of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed. And I mean, hey, trust me, if you love quality GEGE content, you will not regret subscribing. I got a ton of crazy videos like crazy theories, analysis, power scaling, live streams, spoiler videos like this one. If you love GEGE, you will not regret subscribing. So thank you very much if you do. And of course, thank you to East Kaisen and that guy Trait. Let us get into the video. Oh my god, where do we even start? Yeah, Gojo is dead. So Mahoraga did actually turn off the infinity. Now, it's not very clear what Miyamoto was saying, but yeah, it looks like the more you're using a technique, or at least a curse technique on Mahoraga, it actually builds up the adaptation, and this actually applied to Sukuna and his curse technique, and now cleaving his mantle was able to not just cut Limitless, but cut the world itself. And yeah, it says the 10 shadows actually just fully neutralized the Limitless, and Gojo was just cleaved in half. It's over. Gojo was in the afterlife. We actually saw the afterlife. He was talking to Geto. He's talking about his father. We don't even know who his father is, and he was talking about it, and Yuji's reaction just hurt. Seeing Yuji react like that, we saw Yuta was looking like he was gonna step in, but of course he didn't step in. Like, don't caution with it. I will get into that soon, don't you worry. Maki was looking kind of upset, but also kind of normal, like there wasn't too much of a reaction. But yeah, Gojo is dead. Now, whether he's still somehow alive, because he does say goodbye to everyone in the afterlife, kind of implying that he's actually coming back to life, and we see his eyes actually open, so maybe he's not dead, but it doesn't really matter. So at the very least, he did die for a while, like a solid 30, 40 seconds, or probably even a minute. Yes, he did actually die. He's in the afterlife, for God's sake. And I just can't even describe how unreal it was seeing Gojo cut in half, and I didn't actually even believe it, since before Miyamura spoilers came out, we actually got the leaks earlier before Miyamura put them out, and it was actually even questionable if it was even real, because Gojo cut in half off screen. He was off screen. Satoru Gojo was off screen. Can you believe that actually those words are coming out of my mouth and that happened? We didn't even see how he lost or died. My god, I gotta admit, I'm a massive Gojo glazer. I was pushing the fraud Kuna agenda. This is pretty embarrassing. Oh man, it is rough. Off screen, Gojo? Really? My glorious king? My king was off screen? No way. Oh god. And real quick, I just want to say, before the Sukuna fans get on my nuts, since the very beginning, you can check every single spoiler video I've made and every tweet I've made, and I'll even have one up right now. I have said Sukuna will win. There's not a single time I've ever said Gojo will actually win. Besides like the metaphorical sense where he won because Sukuna's a fraud, though even that's questionable now. Like, is Sukuna really a fraud? I'll talk about that soon. You don't want to miss that. But yeah, I made a ton of videos on it saying Sukuna will win. Even recently I made a video, and it's actually the second most viewed video on my channel, even though I just made it 10 days ago, where I was saying how Sukuna's already won, so that video already aged like wine. Even so, as a massive Gojo fan and someone who's pushing that Gojo agenda, I still gotta take the L. Like, even though I knew Sukuna was gonna win and I've been saying it since the beginning, it is still an L for all Gojo fans, including me. Like, I'm still a Gojo fan. I predicted it, but it's still an L. I'll hold that L. And massive respect to all Sukuna fans. If you're someone who didn't flip-flop and you stuck with Sukuna till the very end, from beginning to end, shout out you. You are a warrior. I will give all Sukuna fans their flowers. You guys came out on top. This is your day. Go crazy with it. And I know there's a lot of Gojo fans saying, oh, it doesn't really count. You know, he used the 10 shadows. He's still a fraud. Listen, we've known since the beginning that Gojo isn't stronger than Sukuna with the 10 shadows. I mean, I've said this since the beginning. It's impossible for him to beat him with the 10 shadows. I've actually been saying this since chapter 214, 15, since he's taken that body and that technique. Gojo actually says, now he did kind of say maybe, but he does heavily imply that even if Sukuna didn't have 10 shadows, he probably still would have beaten Gojo. Right then and there, Gojo has admitted it. The proud and arrogant Gojo has admitted that Sukuna is the strongest. Gojo fans, an L is an L. We just gotta take it. I know some of you guys are gonna try and cope, but sometimes you just gotta know when to stop, and this is that time. I'm really sorry guys, but to all the Gojo fans out there, to all of you who are fighting with me, to campaigning why Gojo is the GOAT, why he was the king, and why he's the best, I salute all of you. I respect all of you. We had a very good run. It was a fun 13 chapters. We tried our best, but unfortunately you just don't always come out on top. A big 07 salute to you guys. We tried, that's all I can say. We tried our best. Even Sukuna was even laughing, explaining how it worked. It's just unreal. I just don't know how to describe it. And even the talks going on between Nanami and Gojo and those guys, it was really sweet with Gojo thinking, oh, I wish you were there, Geto, in the very beginning, and you were always on our side, and I wish you were there to slap me on my back as well, to motivate me to go and fight Sukuna. Obviously, they were still on good terms even after Geto had turned evil. Well, not the best of terms, but they were still friends, you know, in quotes. But yeah, it's nice to see him in the afterlife, you know, talk and just, it's just crazy to see that Gojo said he gave it his everything. He trained his body, his technique, the talent that he brushed, inspiration, explosive powers, and Gojo said it was actually fun. It's pretty crazy because Gojo says he feels sorry for Sukuna because he didn't give his all to Gojo. Yeah, so Sukuna never revealed his shrine or Yorozu's gift, or if his true form makes him stronger, that. Damn, it is pretty crazy. Now granted, had Sukuna not had 10 shadows, he obviously would have needed to use shrine and whatever else is there, since 10 shadows is what lets Sukuna win this fight. But undoubtedly, at least if Sukuna has the 10 shadows, and this is something that I was saying from the beginning, if Sukuna has 10 shadows, he's the strongest. I've always said this, no one is stronger than Sukuna with 10 shadows. What I've always pushed is that Gojo is stronger than Sukuna if he's from the Heian era or if Sukuna didn't have 10 shadows. Now that's still questionable, even Gojo isn't sure, but Gojo does actually believe that Sukuna is stronger, and for now, that is what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with even Heian era Sukuna is stronger than Gojo. I'm gonna trust Gojo's words of it. Man, I will admit, hard to admit it, it is hard to swallow this pill. It is very bitter, but I just have to. I gotta take the L. And I guess if we see Shrine in the future and Shrine has nothing that can bypass Limitless or no hacks like that, you could, I guess, still argue Gojo is stronger than Heian era, but really it doesn't even matter. At the end of the day, he fought him with the 10 shadows, he knew he was gonna fight him with the 10 shadows, and he lost. Sukuna won the fight. It's a Sukuna W. Okay, and now I want to talk about the Kashimo part. I told you guys, Kashimo is gonna be him. He's going to cook. He's gonna be so great. And again, I want to emphasize, I'm not saying Kashimo is gonna kill Sukuna. All I'm saying is Kashimo is gonna give Sukuna a very high diff strong fight. That's all I've been saying. Obviously, can't kill Sukuna for the plot, but I'm saying Kashimo is gonna impress everyone who keeps saying Kashimo is gonna get one shot, Kashimo is gonna get loaded, because that is the majority of JJK fans. All of them are saying Kashimo's a scrub, Kashimo's trash, he's not even gonna put a scratch on Sukuna. All I'm saying is if, no, actually I should correct myself. When Kashimo gives Sukuna a high diff fight, when he gives him the fight of his life, I don't want to see any of you guys switching up, because I know a lot of you guys are Kashimo haters. Kashimo is my GOAT. He's actually my main agenda. I don't know if you guys have seen, but I've made a ton of videos on Kashimo. Some of my most popular videos on my channel are Kashimo hype videos about how he's going to do really well against Sukuna. And even in my Twitter bio, I love Kashimo literally just in there because I love this guy so much. And I'm telling you guys, he's going to cook. Remember, he was fighting on par with Jackpot Akari for 13 minutes without his curse technique, and we know that at the absolute bare minimum, the curse technique accounts for at least 80% of your power. That's about the average that was confirmed, and if it's an OP curse technique, in a lot of cases it's more. Just to give an example, imagine a base Yuta without Rika fighting another mirror version of Yuta that has Rika fully manifested with copy. Yuta with his copy curse technique and Rika is gonna no diff the Yuta in just space. Well, let's imagine Yuki fights herself. One has Bombaye curse technique, one doesn't. The one that has Bombaye is just gonna one-shot the one that doesn't. A curse technique makes a world of difference. The fact that Kashimo is this insanely top tier and strong, he was the strongest culling game player of the most points and the deadliest one as well without a curse technique. And mind you, the only reason Hakari beat him, and it's still Hakari W, I won't take it for him, but the only reason was a pretty plot-based reason where he froze him in the water, and if you count the streaks of lightning, it's 13 streaks, and that's just the initial one, not even including he was in there longer, and the explosion. Kashimo easily could actually fight for hours at full power, and he barely took any damage at the end of the Hakari fight. If you look at Kashimo after the Hakari fight, he is very clean. He has a bit of blood on him that's not even his own blood. It's Hakari's dried up blood. Now imagine if you give this guy a curse technique and make him at least 5 times stronger. Now imagine you add a binding vow to that curse technique to make it several times stronger. The first binding vow is to make it 1-time use. The second binding vow could be a time limit. And the third binding vow could be he's gonna give his life. Even just the one binding vow making it a 1-time use, the way binding vows work is if you're sacrificing something strong, it will actually make the multiplier of the binding vow stronger. So considering the fact that Kashimo is a top tier sorcerer in the verse, and he's sacrificing presumably a godlike technique, making it 1-time use is going to make that many times stronger. That's not even including his other binding vows. So imagine we have Kashimo, we're making him 5-6 times stronger with his curse technique, and we're stacking binding vows that are making him several times stronger. All I'm saying is Kashimo will cook. I've been saying this since day one. Don't switch up. I see some of you are switching up and trying to get on the Kashimo hype train. Stay on that side. Kashimo will cook. But yeah, Gojo fans, we took an L today. I did predict Sukuna would win, but it's still very sad to see. And as the resident Gojo PR pusher, I will still take the L. Sukuna fans, shout about you guys. You guys won. Gojo got off screen, which is so embarrassing. I don't care if Sukuna used 10 Shadows hacks, and off screen, getting finished off screen. Oh my god, that is shameful. Oh no, I can't even defend it. Gojo, I love you. You're still my king. You're still my goat, but I'm going down with you, and L is an L. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like. It does help out, and of course subscribe for a ton of GEGE content. Again, only 10% of people who watch my channel are subscribed. 90% of you aren't subscribed. So if you want to see some crazy theories, power scaling videos, spoiler videos like this, live streams, and just a bunch of high quality GEGE content, trust me, you will not regret subscribing. I really recommend doing so. And of course, thank you to all the channel members. It is much appreciated. Thank you guys very much. That's all. Have a nice day, guys, and take care.